The Apple TV 2025 is not just an upgrade, it's a full-blown revolution that might turn your living room into a console-killing, AI-powered smart home hub. But the biggest question: is Apple about to finally lower the price and make this a no-brainer purchase for everyone? This is Tap Tech, and by the end of this script, you'll know the one feature that makes the current Apple TV completely obsolete, and the shocking price point that changes everything. This is the year Apple goes for the throat of every major gaming console. Forget the quiet, iterative upgrades of the past. The Apple TV 2025 is rumored to feature a processor so powerful, the A17 Pro Chip, that it's the exact same silicon powering the latest, high-end iPhones and enabling true console-quality gaming with features like hardware-accelerated ray tracing. Yes, that means cyberpunk-level graphics, right on your TV, coming from a box that fits in your palm. But it's not just gaming. We're talking a $99 price point and an integrated camera for FaceTime and gesture control. The stakes have never been higher. Don't click away, because the one feature nobody is talking about is the one that completely destroys the Roku, the Fire TV, and the competition. Let's dive right into the core of the Apple TV 2025, the part that's making the competition absolutely sweat, the A17 Pro Chip. Look, the current Apple TV is fast, but it's still running the older A15 Bionic. The leap to the A17 Pro is not an incremental update. It is a chasm. We are talking about the exact same processor that enables hardware-accelerated ray tracing on the iPhone Pro. For the uninitiated, ray tracing is what makes lighting, shadows, and reflections in video games look hyper-realistic. This is a feature reserved for the most powerful desktop PCs and dedicated next-gen consoles. And now, it's coming to a streaming box. Think about that. Apple is clearly setting the stage for Apple Arcade to become a legitimate, big-screen, console gaming service. Games like Resident Evil Village and Death Stranding are already running on the A17 Pro iPhones. Imagine playing those games, not on a tiny phone screen, but up on your 65-inch 4K or even 8K TV. The graphics will be stunning. The performance will be buttery smooth. And here's the kicker: the current console landscape is expensive. Apple could swoop in and offer an entire generation of AAA gaming access via the Apple TV and a subscription, making the barrier to entry dramatically lower. This isn't just about faster menus. This is about making the Apple TV the only piece of hardware you need connected to your screen. But the question remains: can Apple, a company known for its high-margin devices, actually get the developers on board to take this seriously? The power is there. The ecosystem is there. The next 15 minutes of this video will reveal how they plan to win that developer war. But the power leap is just one side of the coin. The other is the intelligence revolution. Apple has made it clear that Apple Intelligence is the future of their entire ecosystem. And the Apple TV 2025 is perfectly positioned to become the AI brain of your living room. We're talking about a completely revamped tvOS 26 experience. Imagine this: you sit down, and Siri, powered by this new Apple Intelligence, doesn't just recommend movies you might like. It understands that your partner just finished a specific true crime series on a different streaming service, knows you are trying to watch more classic horror, and that your kid has a school project on volcanoes. The new recommendations won't be from a simple algorithm. They'll be from an intelligent assistant that understands your entire household's complex viewing habits across every app. You could ask Siri, find a 2-hour-long, highly rated sci-fi movie that no one in the family has seen, that supports Dolby Vision, and is on Apple TV Plus or Disney Plus. Instead of hunting and scrolling through 9 different apps, the result is instantaneous and perfectly tailored. That is the power of Apple Intelligence on the big screen. And that is what will keep people from going back to the clunky interfaces of Roku or Amazon. And then there's the truly shocking rumor: the physical transformation. Multiple sources are now pointing to a potential integrated camera being built into the new Apple TV. Now, on the surface, this sounds a little creepy, right? But think about the applications. This transforms the Apple TV from a receiver of content to an interactive hub. FaceTime on your 65-inch screen. Imagine video calls with family, where the camera uses Apple's center stage technology to keep everyone in the frame, even as you move around the living room. It's the ultimate communal video conferencing tool. But the feature that's the true game changer? Gesture control. Think about Minority Report. You could be paused on a movie, and with a simple hand gesture, you could fast forward, rewind, or even browse the tvOS interface. The remote, which, let's be honest, is still a little too easy to lose, might become an optional accessory. This camera, combined with the new Thread and Wi-Fi 7 connectivity, turns the Apple TV into the most powerful HomeKit border router Apple has ever created. It's not just a streamer anymore, it's the eyes, ears, and brains of your entire smart home. This seamless integration, being able to glance at your TV and see a live feed from a HomeKit camera with a subtle picture-in-picture overlay, is what elevates the Apple experience above all others. Now, we have to talk about the part you skipped to, but the part that most people are still in denial about: the price and the problem. The current Apple TV 4K starts at $129, and many consumers simply look at a $40 Roku or a $50 Fire Stick and ask, why? Apple's biggest barrier to mass adoption has always been the price. But the persistent, recurring rumor, the one that, if true, guarantees this device will fly off the shelves and absolutely dominate the market, is a new, aggressive price point: $99. A $99 Apple TV with an A17 Pro Chip, Apple Intelligence, Wi-Fi 7, and a new FaceTime camera? That is not just a compelling product, that is a declaration of war on the entire home entertainment market. It's a move that says, we don't just want to be in the living room, we want to own the living room. But here's the danger. If Apple releases this premium device at a premium price, say $179 or $199, the whole thing falls apart. It becomes a niche product for Apple fanatics, and the mass market will simply pass it over for the cheaper alternatives. The rumors are leaning toward a late 2025 release, possibly around November, just in time for the holidays. If the leaks about the price are true, this is the gift that redefines your TV setup. If they're wrong, it's just another footnote in the Apple story. But before you run out and budget for the new $99 device, let's talk about the hidden hardware changes that are key to the premium user experience. We're expecting a bump in storage, likely a 128GB base model, which is essential for storing those massive, console-quality A17 Pro games. But the big, quiet feature that nobody talks about is HDMI pass-through. This is huge. Imagine being able to plug your other devices, your PS5, your Blu-ray player, through the Apple TV. Why? Because the Apple TV, with its superior processing power, could act as a video and audio enhancer. The Siri remote is also getting an overhaul, of course. Leaks suggest a more durable, less slippery design, and perhaps even an integrated UWB chip for Find My capabilities. No more frantic couch cushion searches. You'll be able to ping your remote right from your iPhone. So, where does this leave us? The Apple TV 2025 is shaping up to be the most important device Apple releases this year, even more so than the next iPhone. It's Apple's quiet attempt to conquer the largest screen in your house and control the entire smart home ecosystem through it. We have console-grade gaming with the A17 Pro. We have personal, AI-powered content curation with Apple Intelligence. We have interactive video calls and gesture control with the rumored camera. And we have the potential for a $99 price point that changes the market forever. If all of these features land, the current Apple TV will instantly become an antique. The Fire TV and Roku will look like glorified calculators. This device won't just stream content, it will be the central nervous system of your digital life. Look, every rumor points to a revolution, but here's the terrifying truth: Apple could pull back. They could look at the profit margins and decide to launch a watered-down version at the same old price. That's the Apple we know. But the Apple that's building the A17 Pro chip for the living room? That's the Apple we've been waiting for. They're either about to deliver the best smart home device ever made, or the biggest disappointment in home tech history. Which one will it be? Subscribe right now to Tap Tech, because you need to be here for that final, world-changing reveal, and tell me, what is the absolute maximum you would pay for a true console-killer Apple TV? Your comments are the lifeblood of this channel. See you in the next one.